Welcome back to class, dear students. In this lesson, let's talk about AI tools for CSS, CSS libraries, CSS frameworks, and some other things to get you better in your CSS as you learn to be a Web3 front-end developer. So from the previous lesson, we've learned a lot from syntax, starting from CSS syntax or CSS, we've learned CSS box model, style text, implementing colors, background, grid layout, flexbox, pseudo classes, pseudo element, media query. Then we've as well learned CSS3 animation and more, and including the best practices. So now, some of you, especially as beginner, will now like, this thing, how will I be able to get this done? I've told you, before you have just an option to help, which is what is called CSS library or frameworks. These are already, some people had came together with their experience, built some set of, okay, if you want to style button, they design different CSS button, like maybe 12 or 20 or 50. So you can just go there, copy it and use it. That's one of the easiest before. But now we also have AI tools all around us, so which can generate anything on the fly. Library may not have what you want, but CSS can help customize or even create your own CSS library or framework for your own project. So that's why they are so essential then for to be discussed. So the vast ocean of web development, CSS framework tools, them that are like sophisticated ship that carry you to the shores of polished websites with ease and grace. As we dive deeper into the Web3 development universe, the use of this framework and AI enhancement is not just a convenience, it is a strategic choice for success. You understand? So it's a strategic choice for success because it saves time, do a lot of things, we still learn about it. So you don't want to neglect this and sit down, take hours, do that. No. Nobody is even paying you or employing you or giving you gig to come and build all those things from scratch. It consumes a lot of time. So what are CSS framework and library? This CSS framework offer pre-written CSS classes and components that can be used to construct web layouts and elements swiftly. By adopting a CSS library, you ensure design consistency, cross-browser compatibility, and adherence to responsive design principle and best practices in CSS. Because another issue with CSS is browser compatibility. Because sometimes things work well, you design it while you are using maybe, let's say, Google Chrome, and then somebody try to use it using other browser, and then things begin to break apart. So all those are part of the known issue. Some of these library and framework have tried to ensure they use things that will be compatible with as many popular browsers as possible. So you don't want to go into all those headache when you can use all these things vetted and use open source by a lot of people. So popular frameworks and library include Bootstrap. So we have Bootstrap, we have Tailwind CSS, we have Boma CSS, Foundation Framework. There are lots, there are numerous, I'm telling you, there are numerous that you can use at times. Some are even like dedicated to some JavaScript framework, like some work better with like React than when you are using Svelte, you understand? But one of the most popular among them that work with almost all those frameworks is Tailwind CSS. Yeah, it has become like the basic when it comes to React, all those frameworks. It works perfectly with them, a lot of them. So you can check them out. Why use a CSS framework? Like I told you, efficiency saves time by not reinventing the wheel for common design pattern. You see this design, somebody have built it, several people have used it, and you want the same thing. Why do you have to rebuild? You only rebuild when there is inefficiency, when there is issue. But just the same thing is okay with you, then why waste hours trying to fix things up? Then it might even take you to have been super experienced in that CSS, which you don't have the time. Consistency, unified design. Like I said, if you are using button, you want to use the same color and things, it will be consistent because you can easily use those things. Community and support, you can get it from a lot of this platform. And responsiveness, a lot of them knows that is essential, so they have done it. Then some development tool, we have preprocessor like SAS and less. Extend CSS with like I told you, variables, nesting and maxings and things like that. There are a lot you will learn. So, but we have discussed all these ones are like pure or vanilla CSS. There are a lot of mix up of CSS, so you can explore them. Then we have post CSS, transform CSS with JavaScript, enabling the use of feature CSS features today. So CSS in JS, library like styled component for those who prefer to write CSS within JavaScript for component-based framework like that. So there are just a lot of them. Then the AI tools, the AI enhancement cannot be neglected. AI tools can help optimize CSS file for performance, generate cross-browser compatibility, and even create entire CSS framework tailored to your project need. Like I told you, it used to be that framework, and if you are screwed, you are screwed there. But now it's no more like that. You can even take what you've got from a framework and customize it even further faster with the help of it. Okay, I've gotten this from Tailwind CSS. I need this, and it has idea of what you can do, how you can extend it without breaking the Tailwind you imported or API or something like that on your the website or the web or DApp. You understand my point? Yeah. So we have some tools like ChatGPT, Deep CSS, CSS Scan, and as well, I always say you go back to this page, which was the initial beginner stage we started from, that help you. I have list of AI tool you need as a Web3 developer. So either front end, building smart contract, whatever, there are things I personally have used and say, yeah, they are cool. So, and also I built this myself as a customized GPT, which you can use, you see, it's part of Web3 development, interactive learning at dedication. So you can learn with it, Web3, and also development, code troubleshooting, generate code, and a lot of things. In fact, I use it a lot for creating content for this course. So it's something so solid. I try my best at least to customize it, different from just using pure ChatGPT. So that helps as well. So implementing CSS best practices. Incorporating best practices in your workflow is essential for maintainable and scalable CSS. Like I told you, don't go and use inline CSS when you are building a real robust live project, because it won't be maintainable, it won't be scalable. Try to comment. Try to make sure you remember the CSS specificity, like specificity, yeah, that some things like inline take precedence over internal or external CSS. Best CSS to use is external, yeah. So just in some cases, you may now say, okay, you are using internal, but where? Now, so also it's like when you are using ID to call as a selector, it's much authority than when you are using classes or some other ones like element, HTML element. So all these things are essential for you to keep in mind, and with all this you are empowered to get your design straight, because now you've known the basic. If you go to some of these resources now, if you go to some of them, you'll be able to be familiar, you'll be able to understand what they are trying to do. You'll be able to, because you have understood the basic of the language, like the syntax, the selector, the declaration, background, flexbox, media query, CS3, and transition animation. So that's the essence of what I try to achieve, not to teach you everything. This not be pro straight into CS. No, you will go and dedicate more resources, more learning for that. But you don't really need to be like that, especially in this AI age. Once you understand that when AI give you something, then when you want to ask for help, you can be specific, like, okay, I need media query for this, and then you get better response. That's prompt engineering. You can see them, they are fast. You can just, you can just use some of these, you can see it, and just use them, and before you know it, you can start customizing buttons. You see it, you can start having buttons, having a lot of things that you want to use. See, sizing, color, you see it, typography, shadow, all those things are ready. You just copy the code and use them. Or once we get to all those level of framework like React, they're already there. You just install them as a package, and then they work straight inside your the web or dApp. So that's it for this lesson. Don't forget, if you get stuck, you need help, always go through the resources, and at the same time, the support, you use the comment for specific lesson. Check if anybody asks same question in student and is answered, just respond, oh, it's helpful as well. That's it. Don't ask the same question. Do your homework to check. But if not, then ask. Join the DPU Discord as well, but that's not where to ask questions about the courses and lessons and expect response, especially from the author. But you get support from community, collaborate with other Web3 developers worldwide, and also get updates like that from there. So that's how we do it. I remain Solomon Foske. Any other question, like I said, you can ask in the comment. I believe we've really gone through a lot, and you've learned a lot and get better. So I remain Solomon Foske of the Programming University. Keep the programming spirit and alive, your assurance to succeed as a developer. And please always do good to humanity with whatever knowledge you have and your programming skill, and not evil, to make the world and the universe a better place for us all. See you in the next lesson. Peace.